had going on early this morning. Look at this gorgeous view over Sauratown Mountain. Love this. And we had lots of sunshine early in the day. And now the clouds really have started to fill in everywhere. That includes for parts of High Point. Beautiful blue skies through middle of the afternoon. And then all of a sudden the clouds just started to settle in, and now we've got some showers out there right now across the Triad and up into the mountains. But this should be a short-lived issue for us. We've got temperatures that warm nicely to 67 in Winston-Salem, 61 in Ronda. Right now we've got 54 in West Jefferson and 69 in Martinsville. Highs today made it into the low 70s in just a couple of spots. Winston-Salem made it to 71, as well as Reedsville, 72 in Danville, and those upper 60s south. So good bit of sunshine, and then the clouds turn from those fair weather cumulus into the more thick and dreary, kind of showery, spotty clouds that we tend to see with these upper level disturbances. And that's what we're going to have playing with us not only today, but going into early part of next week too. So even as early as Sunday, we can see the return of some of these spotty showers. They're very light in nature. They're not going to amount to much, but they might help a little bit with some of those potted flowers you have on your patios or the lawns out there. You've got some light showers from Galax down south, and we're looking at Arcadia, areas of uptown Lexington and Denton with some light showers too, and out toward Newmarket in northern Randolph County. By later this evening, I think you're going to have a good chance to see, though, the space station. The 6-minute pass begins at 9:24, and it's not quite directly overhead, but it should be above the tree line. You're going to look in the south-southwest sky and moving to the east-northeast. Some clearing taking place and some scattered clouds. So I'm hopeful you'll be able to spot that bright object moving tonight. Tomorrow morning, 46 degrees. It's chilly for your Saturday, warming nicely as we get you through noon tomorrow, and then 73 for an afternoon high. We bring in a mix of sun and clouds, and we take a look at those temperatures from 43 degrees in the foothills to 66, a few clouds and calm conditions with 72 in Mount Airy and Yadkinville. Nice, although if you like 39 degrees in those 30s, we've got some more for you tomorrow morning, especially some of the mountain valleys, those spots that are more wind protected. And the winds should be very light to begin your day too. So drying out throughout middle of the day, and then we bring the clouds back, and this is where we talk about rain chances returning late tomorrow night into your early morning Sunday. So looking at 66 there. Your 24-hour forecast showing you that the shower chances start to wind down between about 8 and 9 o'clock tonight for folks in the Triad. Those clouds may hang with us a little bit, but patchy clouds and clearing taking place through early morning. So likely some mid to upper 40s and those upper 30s to low 40s mountains. We're right back into the 60s though as early as 10, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. We warm nicely, but the clouds then start to fill in as we head through the afternoon. So thicker clouds, maybe a spotty shower in the mountains. I think it's going to hold off until later in the day. Here's a mountain forecast for you. Take a look at the 60s out there. Rain chances Sunday, as well as areas in Linville Falls, Asheville as well, and beautiful views from the beaches. Such a gorgeous day. We had a nice sunrise there, and those clouds, they'll be filling in along the beaches too from time to time, but you have less opportunities for rain chances. Most of that's going to hug the mountains and out into the mountains and Triad as we get you through Sunday. So right now we keep you sunny and dry. And take a look at this. This happens to be Hurricane Preparedness Week. You know, we talk about rip current risk. This really rises as we see an approaching hurricane or tropical system. And a reminder that you need to know what to do if you're out at the beaches coming up this summer, whether it's from hurricane preparedness or just preparing to be out in the water. A reminder to swim parallel to the shore if you do get caught in one of those rip currents. All right, talking about storm names, Anna, Bill, Claudette, and remember we're ending up with Victor and Wanda on the list. Heading into the weekend though, we don't have to worry about anything until June 1st for hurricane season. We do have temperatures that are nice and comfortable for Saturday. Clouds, rain chances building Sunday, and better chances of storms as we get you through middle of the week than 80s, and hot to end the day.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Less than 2 months to go. Next, a U.S. Olympian shares how he's feeling about safety measures ahead of the 2020 Olympic Games.
And here's what we're working on tonight for WXII 12 News at 6. More live team coverage of the governor's afternoon announcement to lift most COVID-19 related restrictions, including how businesses are reacting to this news and the restrictions that will remain in place for the time being. We hope you'll stay with us today for WXII 12 News at 6 o'clock. We're starting that up in about 7.5 minutes.
Checking traffic right now. This is a live look at I-40 at Elm Eugene Street in Greensboro. Still looking pretty good out there at 555.
Pikachu is getting too dangerous for Target, at least for the time being. The store will not sell Pokemon or any sports trading cards in its brick and mortar stores for the time being. Trading cards have skyrocketed in value and popularity during the pandemic. For example, a Michael Jordan card that usually sells for about $215,000 went for $738,000 at an auction back in February. Last week, a Wisconsin Target had to lock down after 4 people assaulted a man all over sports trading cards. Target plans to continue selling cards online. Competitor Walmart says it will continue selling cards in its stores for now.
We are just 69 days away from the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. They were, of course, postponed last year because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but officials say they are still scheduled to take place as planned this year. Athletes around the world are preparing for the Olympics a full year later than they had anticipated with new restrictions. U.S. sprinter Justin Gatlin says he's happy with the protocols in place. He visited Japan for an Olympics test event where he was put in a bubble. Gatlin says it did feel a little isolating, but he understands the measures are necessary to keep everyone safe.
I felt beyond safe. I've been tested every day, either saliva or nasal swab every morning. The bubble has been very successful. The only time I've ever seen the outside is when we get on the bus to go to the track. We work out, then we go back to the hotel. We don't even eat in a cafeteria or a meeting ground. We take our food to our room and we eat in our room.
Hundreds of athletes, including Gatlin, participated in the test event at the Olympic Stadium as organizers fine-tuned operations and COVID-19 countermeasures. With just more than 2 months to go, fans were not allowed to watch the tests.
A brand new sport is also undergoing some testing in Tokyo right now, skateboarding. It'll make its debut at the Games a little bit later this year. The test event was held at Urban Sports Park, also without fans. Skateboarders said the lack of fans cheering was definitely noticeable. One competitor said it was a little sad without any spectators. No international athletes were able to take part. A German gymnast plans to wear a full bodysuit during competition to take a stand against sexualizing gymnastics. 21-year-old Sarah Voss wore a full bodysuit at a European Championship meet earlier this year in Switzerland and got a whole lot of positive feedback. She says gymnasts should have a choice and what they wear should be up to each individual athlete. Full body outfits are allowed in international competitions and she plans to wear one, she says, if she makes the German Olympic team.
Well, winning an Olympic medal can be a long, sometimes solitary battle, but most any Olympian will admit it wouldn't mean nearly as much if they didn't have teammates to do it with and for.
I wouldn't do this sport if I had to swim by myself. I'd go crazy. I need people around me who are going to hold me accountable, and I want to do the same for them. I want to hold them accountable.
Dressel's cheering him on, trying to get his 6th gold medal at these championships. Simone Manuel with 10 meters left.
It's essentially, it is a family.
To the wall, it'll be the United States with a new world record.
Being a part of a team is the most magical thing that you can be a part of.
It's like a family because nobody else in the world quite understands the dynamic or everything that goes on, unlike your teammates do.
We're all a family. We all have one common goal that we wanted to uphold, and that's what brings us all together.
I'm close with everyone on the team. Everyone's got each other's back. I mean, at the end of the day, you do it for the guy right next to you.
Of course, you're fighting for the Olympic dream and the Olympic gold medal, but to be honest, it wouldn't mean anything if you weren't on the podium with those women. That's what it's about.
From WXII 12 News, this is breaking news.
Effective immediately, we are lifting all mandatory capacity and gathering limits and social distancing requirements, and most mandatory mask requirements.
Those words from Governor Roy Cooper just a few hours ago. Most COVID-19 restrictions are now lifted in the state of North Carolina.
And this comes just one day after the CDC announced fully vaccinated people no longer need to wear a mask indoors, and 437 days after the first COVID-19 case was reported in North Carolina.
It has been a while. We're bringing you team coverage tonight at 6 o'clock. Justin Schreier is in Winston-Salem as businesses start to make changes and adapt in time for the weekend. But we're going to start with Leanne Denyer. She has a breakdown of today's announcement, the executive order, including some of the restrictions that will remain in place for the time being. Leanne.
Well, hey, Kenny, if you're out and about in downtown Winston-Salem like we are right now, you don't have to wear your mask. I just got a note from the mayor's office confirming that they will be following the state's guidelines. But before you just hold on a second, there are still a few situations where you do still need to wear a mask. So we want to go over those now, especially having to do with your little ones. So you do still need to wear a mask in some settings. I mentioned the little ones. That's because at school, childcare, and at camp, you are still going to need to wear your mask. Public transportation, healthcare settings, we're talking doctor's offices, hospitals, nursing homes, as well as correctional facilities and homeless shelters. So today, Dr. Mandy Cohen stressing that this is consistent with the CDC guidelines and asking folks to keep in mind that many children are not yet vaccinated and in many cases are not eligible to be vaccinated at this point. Masks are still being strongly recommended at regardless of vaccination status at large crowded indoor events. So think about sporting events or live performances. But the big message today, following the CDC's announcement, masks and social distancing will not be required. Capacity limits, those are lifted as well. And this is all happening, the governor says, as the state takes a big step forward.
I want to thank the close to 4 million North Carolinians who have already gotten their first dose. They are protecting themselves and others and helping us get back to the people, places, and events we love.
So something to keep in mind, though, the governor said that businesses can still use their own discretion about if they want to have a mask mandate in place. But again, the big thing to know today, if you're out and about indoors or outdoors, you are not required by executive order to have your mask on. And I think Justin's going to take it on over from here about how businesses are reacting to the news. Justin.
That's right. Hey, Leanne, good evening to you. We just spoke with the restaurant Mojito Latin Soul Food in downtown Winston-Salem. They tell me tonight that they are excited and that it's really been a long process and a long 14 months. Michael and Michelle Mian, who own the restaurant, said the last 14 months have been really tough. They say that they've told staff if they are vaccinated, they don't need to wear a mask, but if they are not, then they have to wear one. They say their customers can do whatever makes them feel most comfortable.
If they want to wear a mask, by all means. If they don't want to wear a mask and they're vaccinated, for sure, have at it. We got vaccinated for that reason, to be able to make our own decisions and what's good for us and what's safe for us. We don't knock anybody's beliefs or anything like that.
And coming up tonight at 10 and 11, we will be live from downtown Winston-Salem tonight, and you'll hear from some breweries as well as some restaurants. Live in Winston-Salem tonight, Justin Schreier, WXII 12 News.
Justin, thank you. A lot of people have been wondering how the changes are affecting places like Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem. The racetrack tells us that their season opener, the Hayes Jewelers 200, is still on for June 5th. Meanwhile, in Virginia, the governor will lift that state's mask mandate starting at midnight tonight. That's for people who have been vaccinated. All gathering restrictions will be lifted on May 28th, but masks will still be required in schools, and businesses can still make them mandatory. And right now, some parents are probably wondering, how is all of this going to affect summer activities? Local infectious disease expert Dr. Christopher Ohl says that this summer should be good because case numbers are going down, but it would be best to keep the masks on for certain activities.
But right now, I think for those groups who really want to have a safe, happy, COVID-free summer, and you got lots of people getting together, particularly people who have unvaccinated kids in those groups, you want to stay masked. It'll make it a lot easier to get through the activities you want to do.
Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools is working with county health leaders to host COVID-19 vaccination clinics. There will be open to not just kids age 12 to 15, but anyone in any group who is eligible right now, and that's just about the entire population. The vaccination sites are on your screen right now. The 2 middle school clinics are going to be next Thursday from 1 until 4. The high school clinics are next Friday from 2:50 p.m. until 6 o'clock at night. And today, Rockingham County Schools teamed up with Cone Health to give the vaccine to high school students ages 14 and up. This clinic was held inside the gymnasium at McMichael High School.
Hundreds of kids ages 12 to 15 have their first COVID-19 shot thanks to Novant Health. The healthcare provider says that 564 children got the Pfizer vaccine. At pediatricians' offices, 182 doses were given in Winston-Salem, 382 doses out in Charlotte. Novant hopes to expand the program to their other locations over the next few weeks. And people as young as 12 can roll up their sleeves to get a shot. We've been telling you that for the last couple of days. To find a vaccination site near you, which could be less than 5 miles away, head to our website, WXII12.com.
A new survey is raising questions about trust and funding of public health in the United States. It comes from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and Harvard University School of Public Health. Our Bill O'Neill explains where North Carolina ranks when it comes to public health spending.
This survey finds American views on public health as well as the medical system have changed over the last decade. Positive ratings of the country's public health system fell significantly since 2009, down almost 10 points. At the same time, the medical system experienced a sharp increase in positive ratings, up 15 points. What does that tell us?
Well, I think it says that in particular in the last year, people have had personal contact with their doctors and nurses, but not quite so much personal contact with the public health system, which has felt like the enforcer of important prevention.
Despite the fall in positive ratings, a large majority of those surveyed believe that public health agencies are extremely or very important to the health of the nation. And a similar number support increased federal spending for public health.
Public health is one of those things where you don't need it until you need it. But when you need it, you want the public health system to act effectively. And I think we've seen what happens when we don't remember that and maintain our support.
Dr. Don Schwartz talks about restoring trust in public health agencies like the CDC, whose reputation has taken some hits during the pandemic.
They're still wonderful. I have to tell you, the CDC does incredible work. They have had a very difficult time because of the political environment in the last year, and I think we've all paid a price for that.
Dr. Schwartz says North Carolina's spending on public health ranks near the bottom. He notes the state increased funding by only a single dollar per person over the last decade, while healthcare spending per person nearly doubled.
We haven't maintained our support for public health, so public health's readiness and ability has been hampered, and people understand that and see it.
Dr. Schwartz says the pandemic may serve as a wake-up call. He says if people recognize that they're not happy with public health, they need to step up funding to improve it. In Greensboro, Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.
New at 6, Guilford County Schools wants your opinion on a new version of its academic calendar. The calendar includes a couple of additional instruction days for a total of 175 student days. The district's chief academic officer says this new schedule provides more flexibility for students who might have to learn from home.
We know from the pandemic that students are at much different places, right? We're going to have to do scaffolds of instruction. We're going to have to target students who excelled when learning remotely, and we're going to have to fill in all kinds of skill gaps. And so this calendar is going to be beneficial in that way too.
GCS is also looking for feedback on calendars for its early and middle colleges and academies and extended year schools as well. We have ways where you can leave your comments on our website, WXII12.com.
Happening now, many drivers in the Carolinas are still stuck in those long lines waiting for gas. The company that operates the nation's largest gasoline pipeline is getting it back in full service. This after a cyber attack shut Colonial Pipeline system down for days. According to two sources, Colonial Pipeline paid ransom to the hackers identified as DarkSide that carried out the attack. Colonial Pipeline and President Joe Biden have declined to comment. And many people across North Carolina are reporting price gouging. There have been more than 600 reports filed with the state attorney